Hey, Gwen? That last time, what hospital were you admitted to again? I remember there being that really famous doctor and everything there, right?
Huh? Joel? Why are you asking me about that? The last time we even talked was 3 years ago, just before you went and divorced me. And since then, you haven't said one thing to me.
Has it really been that long since the divorce?
Yeah, it happened because you were cheating on me with my sister Elaine.
Is that what happened then?
So what is this all about? You were looking for the hospital that I went to back then? I didn't think stupid people like yourself could get sick with anything, but I guess even memoryless idiots can get ill, huh?
Nice one. Well, this time it's not me that needs to go to the hospital, though. It's your sister Elaine that's not feeling well at all right now.
Wait, what? Mika's the one who's sick?
She went and had a health exam done on herself, and something pretty serious came up when she did. The doctor at the clinic told her she needs to have more tests done on her to pinpoint what's wrong, and so I was thinking of taking her to the hospital you went to. See, I'm really worried about her right now, and I need her to go to the best hospital there is in this region.
I see. Well, how considerate of you, Joel. I remember when I had that bad collapse from overworking, and you just told me to suck it up and deal with being that sick.
Well, you didn't have some kind of really bad illness.
And in the end, my condition only worsened until I had to be rushed to the hospital and taken for scans.
And it cost a lot of money to pay for those scans, didn't it?
Do you know why I was so sick, Joel? Because I had to work my butt off to pay your debts. You never wanted to tell me about how you secretly got into gambling and racked up such a debt, and that led to me having to work from sunrise to sunset every single day trying to get the money you needed. And yet when my body couldn't take any more of the abuse and I was sent to the hospital, you never once came to visit me.
And? What good would visiting you have done again? It's not like me being there with you would have cured whatever was wrong, and it sure wasn't going to help me pay off my debts.
Don't be so ridiculous, Joel. While I was in the hospital after being overworked because of you, you were out cheating on me with Elaine. I don't even think you were going to work anymore to help pay off your debt. And a long time later, when you finally came to visit me there, all you wanted to do was talk about getting a divorce after you threw those papers on me.
All right, I remember that happening too. I remember you were just lying there doing nothing at all in that hospital bed, and the moment I pulled those papers out, you began to bawl. Seeing that ugly crying face you had then made me laugh so much inside.
What?
I'm telling you right now, Gwen, a woman who collapses from putting in a little bit of extra work deserves to be left. When it came to your sister Elaine, she was able to pay off all that debt I was in no time. Being with a career-based woman working for a massive company is the best. Because she's working so much, I was able to quit my job, and I'm a stay-at-home husband now.
That's right. I had heard about how the two of you got married, but I never expected that you'd quit your job and become a stay-at-home husband afterwards.
Well, Elaine is the one supporting me now, so that means if her health isn't at 100%, then I need to get her back to that pronto, which means I need you to tell me the name of that hospital you went to so that I can get her there for testing.
Help me, Gwen. I don't know what to do about all this anymore. First I had to talk with Joel again, and now I'm having to hear from you? What is going on with you two? Why do you both keep on texting me about all your strange crap now? Don't call it stranger crap. I am seriously in need of your help over here, Gwen. I was diagnosed with a serious illness, and it's going to require me to get a kidney transplant. You're going to have a kidney replaced? The other day, Joel was telling me about how you had some health issues and needed to get more testing. But I didn't think things would get that bad for you. Right? I told him the hospital I went to before, and after that he had finally shut up. And we went there. Did you end up getting all the testing done that you needed? Yes, and the doctor insisted that I start looking for someone to be my donor right away after what he discovered. Thankfully, Joel was being very proactive by saying we needed to get those tests done right away, or who knows how long I would have waited on them. But anyway, it turns out that both of my kidneys are screwed, and I'll need to get at least one new one to beat this disease. I see. I knew that something was wrong because I had noticed some swelling at my sides, but I never thought I'd have a life-threatening disease. Well, having 2 diseased kidneys is a very serious thing. And for a lot of people, they don't ever beat the illness in time. And that's why they're saying I need to get a kidney transplant as soon as possible, Gwen. They've been giving me some medication and such to slow down the progress, but I need a new kidney soon or else I'm going to be stuck on a dialysis machine for life. So please, Gwen, could you give me one of your kidneys? What was that? What makes you think I want to give you one of my precious kidneys? You're the only person I can ask for this. And it's not like you only have 1 kidney, you have 2. So? Right now, your cute little sister is in serious trouble and needs one of those 2 kidneys you have. So as my big sister, you have to help me, right? You're going to ask for my help right now after what you did to me 3 years ago? Why don't you ask your husband now for one of his kidneys? He has to have 2 healthy ones as well, right? I can't ask him to do something like this for me. But I thought you and him were destined for one another, and that's why you stole him from me. With such a strong fate as that, he must be the one to give you one of his kidneys. That's impossible for him, though, and that's why I'm not going to ask him. Are you worried that he might leave you if you ask? As someone who's experienced him firsthand, I know what the asshole is like. And since you were dating him at the time I was hospitalized, you should be aware of the kind of man he is as well, right? Well, it's not my fault he went for me while you were sick. He told me he hated troublesome women, and that's why he made the move on me first, and we started dating from then on. Bingo! Gwen, I cannot tell someone like Joel how serious things are. Are you afraid that he'll do the same thing to you as he did to me then? Worried that maybe while you're in the hospital he's going to find yet another woman and replace you? I don't think he'll be able to because he loves the money that I earn him, you know that! But there's always a chance he might. A big chance, I think. I heard about how Joel turned into a stay-at-home husband after you both got married. He told me about how you have this really good job that pays well and that he wanted to stay home to support you. But if you're going to be hospitalized for some time now, you won't be able to work and make that money he loves you for. And if that happens, he's going to want to move on to another woman, right? But he shouldn't! But he will. Can't you see he's the kind of unfaithful trash that is willing to replace his wife the moment something goes wrong with her? If he runs into an even more successful woman than you while you're in the hospital, you can kiss your husband goodbye. But I don't want him to leave me. Then your only option is to ask him to give you one of his kidneys so you can get over that disease right now. But having to do that would be a big deal for him, and he doesn't like that. So you're going to have to figure out things soon before you become too weak and end up in the hospital like I did, and before he leaves you and you lose your chance of getting a new kidney. But, Gwen, I can't tell him about it. I really want to tell him how serious this all is, but I'm afraid. I can't trust that he'll stay by my side throughout all of this completely anymore. Well, that's too bad. It's really sad that you can't trust the man you married to love you, but that's what you get for what you did to me. Now, if you're really not going to be able to tell him about what's wrong with you, you're going to have to hide it and hope someone else along the way gives you a kidney. There isn't going to be anyone else because I'll be placed on this long list of waiting patients, and who knows how many years that will take. That's why I'm asking you now to give me one of yours, please. And I'll say this one more time. Absolutely not. I hope you find the courage to talk with Joel about this soon, Elaine. Come on now, Gwen! I'm asking you to please give me one of them. Don't you want to help your poor little sister who's in trouble right now? I can sympathize with you for being ill and all, but I do not feel bad for you one bit. Also, I don't even have to help you now, considering you're not like family to me anymore. Now, goodbye forever, Elaine. I wish you the best of luck getting over that illness. No way!
You get to this hospital right now! Gwen! Come here and give her one of your kidneys right now! You heard from both myself and your sister about how ill she is and that she'll need a transplant now. She even asked you to give up one of yours, but you refused her, right? Why did you refuse her?
Well, it seems that Elaine was able to tell you about how sick she is. Why don't you go ahead and give her one of your kidneys, Joel? She is your beloved wife, after all, and is suffering through a lot. Why don't you go ahead and give her a kidney to show her how much you love her?
I can't donate one of my kidneys to her? Are you serious?
What do you mean by you can't? I already looked this up, and online it said you don't have to have the same blood type even to donate to another person. So as her husband, you shouldn't have any problem at all giving her one of yours, right?
The problem isn't the blood type, but me. I can't handle getting on the operating table and having surgery like that done. I know that we all have two kidneys, but the thought of having to lose one of mine really scares me. Having two of them reduced down to one is like losing my life by half.
But from what I've heard, you can live just fine with only one.
But here's the thing, I don't care how close the person to me is that's sick, I don't want to have to give up one of my own kidneys to save them. Even if it's not going to harm me in any way to lose one, I want to keep it.
You really are just as cold-hearted as the day you left me. Even towards your ill wife.
You're the cold-hearted one, Gwen. You're her older sister of all people, and yet you're just going to abandon her? It should be you giving her your kidney, not me.
You're despicable to me for asking someone else to give up their kidney because you're too selfish to let go of one of your own. And what makes all of this even more annoying is that I'm your ex-wife.
Don't worry about that, though. I'm not asking you to do this for her for free, okay? I'll give you something in return for your kidney, so it'll be a fair deal.
You're going to give me something in return if I give her one of my kidneys?
If you do go ahead and give her a kidney, then I'll pay you. How does $5,000 sound?
Sorry, Joel, but I don't need your money. So no matter how much you offer me to do it, I'm not going to.
What?
Do you understand now what this means? This means I really do hate the both of you just that much. Yeah, I feel a little bad for Elaine right now, but I'm sure as hell not going to help her. So if you're not going to donate a kidney to her, then you'll have to watch as your wife withers away.
Are you kidding me? I'm offering you $5,000 right now and begging you to do this for us. I get that we're divorced now, but you were once my wife, Gwen. And as my former wife, you should be obeying what I'm asking from you.
What?
You can't say no to me. My words as your former husband are absolute here. I have the money on me right now, so you come here and take it before getting on that operating table.
What?
As the older sister, you should be willing to do whatever it takes to help Elaine. If you were to abandon your own family right now, then you'd be viewed as less than human. So you get here right now and give her one of your damn kidneys.
What sister are you even talking about? I don't have any sisters.
What?
I don't have a little sister anymore. 3 years ago, after I learned that you'd been cheating on me with Elaine, I made sure to cut ties to her right then and there. So you trying to persuade me into giving up a kidney for her because she's my little sister isn't going to work.
How can you say something so cold as that? Even if you cut ties to her, she's extremely sick now. Both of your parents passed away a long time ago, which makes you the only family she has left, right? Are you really just going to abandon her like this?
Yep, because she was the one to betray me first. She's the one that knowingly took you, my husband at the time, away from me. Which means I no longer have any sister worth risking my own life for.
Don't you give me that as an excuse. I'm sitting here asking you to please just donate one kidney and you're still refusing? If you don't come here and save her life right now, I'll never forgive you.
You think I care that you won't forgive me? We're not even married anymore, yet you act as though you're still my husband and like I still care about what you think. Maybe while you're there at the hospital, you should have a doctor take a look at your head. I'm sure they'll be able to diagnose something seriously wrong with your head.
No way!
Now, I'm tired of having to talk with you about something so meaningless to me, so don't you ever contact me again. All you are is just some coward who's too afraid to donate one of his own kidneys in order to save his wife. Goodbye. You're a real jerk, Gwen. Why won't you help me right now? Even Joel was trying to convince you to come here and help me, but you told him off as well. How about instead of bothering someone who has nothing to do with you guys, you handle that as a couple would? I think you're better off trying to convince your husband to give you a kidney than some rando. But I can't, Gwen. I can't even get a response from him anymore. What? I think Joel went and abandoned me. He told me that he would come to the hospital to visit me again today, but he still hasn't shown up. I got worried and gave him a call, but he wouldn't pick any of them up. Then when I was about to call him again, he sent me a text saying that he wants to get a divorce. Wow. So he's doing the same thing he did to me, to you now. I never thought that he'd actually go through with something like this, Gwen. I already have it bad enough knowing that both of my kidneys are trying to kill me right now, but having to hear that the one person I love wants to leave me? He's such a jackass. I understand how you must be feeling right now. 3 years ago, I felt the exact same way you feel now. I was already in the hospital having to battle an illness when I learned that my husband that never visited me wanted a divorce, and that he'd been cheating on me with my little sister. The despair I felt then was indescribable. I'm sorry, Gwen. Back then I was only thinking about myself and Joel and ended up hurting you so much. I'm really, really sorry. So please, could you come here and help me? You're the only one who hasn't fully abandoned me yet, right? Even if you want to apologize for all of that now, it's too late. I no longer consider you family or a part of my life. What? But Gwen, if you leave me for real, then I'll be all alone. Goodbye, Elaine. Good luck living with that illness of yours for however much time you have left. This is the outcome you get when you go and live a life all about yourself and not anyone else.
Gwen! Gwen, let me inside your house right now. I was able to find my way all the way to your house after all, so let's live together again. Let's you and I go back to being a couple again.
What? You just got up and abandoned my sister, and now you're wanting to get back together with me? How much more selfish can you possibly get, Joel?
Oh, come on, don't be so cold about this. Deep down, I know that you're really happy to hear that I'm back.
Bull crap, I'm happy you're back. I absolutely hate your guts, Joel. So don't you ever say such stupid nonsense about me again.
Did you know that hating someone is just another form of being interested in them? If you really do hate me as much as you say you do, then that means you have still not forgotten about me. In other words, you still do have some feelings for me, right? You still love me, don't you?
What?
I promise I won't ever betray you ever again, Gwen. Even if you become really sick again and end up back in the hospital, I promise that I'll be there for you. So come on, let's get married one more time.
Are you kidding me right now?
You're still single after 3 years because you've been waiting for me to come back to you, right?
I'm not single, though. I'm married to a new man now. So how about you shut your damn mouth right now and leave?
You're married? Wait, when did that happen? How could you have gotten married and not told me anything about it?
Huh? Why does it matter to you what I do after we got divorced, Joel? We're not a thing anymore, remember? That means I don't have to tell you anything about what I'm doing in my life.
Don't start joking around with me. Tell me, who's the guy you married? Tell me the name of the man who dared to lay hands on my woman.
You've already met with him before, actually. My husband was the doctor that told Gwen about her condition and that you ran into later in the hospital when you went to see her. He's the one who would be performing her surgery if she ever gets a donor as well. He was the doctor who took care of me when I was a sick patient in the past, after all.
What?
After he took care of me while I was recovering, we started to go out with one another, and we just got married last year.
You got married to that doctor?
He was the one who supported me through my journey to overcome all the terrible cards I'd been dealt. And even after being discharged from the hospital, I'd go back to him for a follow-up. That's where our relationship to one another really developed and how we eventually got married.
No freaking way! You actually got married to a doctor? I can't believe this right now!
He was telling me about you this past week, actually. He told me that you were so unwilling to give up one of your kidneys for your wife that you refused to come into the hospital anymore. And before that, you were asking him all these questions about when you'd be getting an insurance payout for Elaine if she passed away.
Wait, that had nothing to do with money, okay? To me, insurance and all of that is very important. And when I found out that Elaine didn't have any life insurance, I had to beg the company to let her on my insurance plan and get the doctor's help with that. But he refused to help me because he's such a stubborn jerk.
Don't start getting my husband involved in any of your insurance fraud schemes then. No wonder he refused to help you with that. Why would he ever want to do something like that for a man that could easily save his wife's life?
Hey, Gwen! Let's get back together, all right? I'm sure it was a long and tough journey for you to find that doctor after the divorce, but I didn't leave you because I hated you. I'm betting that you coming back to me will make you a much happier wife than you are with that doctor.
I'm not doing that. I already had to say no about giving up a kidney for my conniving little sister, and now I'm going to have to say no to getting back together with a cheating man like you. I'm never letting you or my sister ever waste any of my time or my body ever again. This is it, Joel. I am blocking your number forever now.
Wait, what?
Goodbye now. I really do hope that after you've divorced Elaine, you can find yourself a woman who makes lots of money and never gets sick. Though there's always a chance that you'd end up in a hospital bed next and have to waste away all by yourself.
That's never gonna happen to me!
But look at you. You're getting older just like I am, however, you haven't been taking any care of yourself at all and look like a whale. So it's only a matter of time until you have to do your time on the hospital bed.
But that's why I'm asking you to come back to me, Gwen!
But I'm not asking for you to come back to me, so bye-bye. I hope you can get your life back on track so that you're not next in line for one of those oh-so-scary surgeries. After all of that, Joel went and quietly walked off my property, and after taking some time to think things through, went back to the hospital to be with Elaine. He went there and poured his heart out, saying he was sorry for saying he wanted a divorce, and that he really wanted to stay with Elaine more than he first thought. However, after having heard about wanting to divorce her and come back to me, Elaine told him that he was the worst man ever, and that if he wanted her to forgive him, he'd have to donate one of his kidneys to her. That was her deal to him, a kidney for them both to remain together as a married couple. But Joel, feeling as though she was using the divorce as a weapon to force him into surgery, told her she was being unfair and that he'd never give her a kidney no matter what. Since then, those two have been having daily shouting matches in Elaine's hospital room about whether or not it's going to be a divorce or Joel donating a kidney. According to my husband, though, he said that pretty soon here security is going to have to kick Joel out of the hospital because their arguments are causing too much trouble for all the other patients. He also told me that the waiting list for a kidney transplant is very, very long, and so Elaine's only chance really is for Joel to donate. Because if he doesn't, there's a very high chance that Elaine will have to stay on dialysis forever, and that may lead to her having a sooner than normal death. Either way, I don't really care what happens with those two, and since I've never been in a situation as crazy as that one before, I can't really sympathize with Elaine anymore.